Good afternoon, it's Liz from New Ink on the Block. Today we're going to make these "'Tis the Season of Hot Chocolate" cards. Not everyone celebrates Christmas, not everyone finds Christmas a joyful time, but so let's make something to celebrate winter and help people and show them that we care without causing more stress or worry to them with using the word Christmas. So that's where my grounding came from for these. We're going to make this one today with the circle, but it's very easy to make the one with the window, and I used the window flower box dies to cut the window shape out, and then I used my blending brush and soft suede to colour the wood in. Okay, but this is the one we're going to make today. Right, so all of the sizes of the card, the cut sizes to use are on my blog. The link for the blog is down below. Please check that out. Also, the items to purchase are in the blog, although I have to confess some of these are retired products. The hot dog is a retired product and the stitched shapes are, but I've used the hot dog just literally to have the word hot. You might have another stamp that has the word hot on it, and I used the stitch shapes to do the circle here. So again, a different circle die will do that for you. The window box is for making the window. As I say, you may well have a different die for being able to do that. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to move all these items away. We've got Christmas to remember, joyful flurry, hot dog as the stamps. We've got window flower box, stitched shapes, and love you more than for the dies. Okay. So the other thing that we've got, we're using just a real simple colour palette of Starry Sky and soft suede. You can tell I've been practicing already. We have the thick basic white for our card base. We have a mat of the Starry Sky with a section, and you can see on the Starry Sky I use I cut dies out of my mat because no one's going to see, and I think it saves on waste. I don't like to make too much waste, because we do use a lot of card in our products, so it's good to try and save where we can. And then this underneath, this mat here, this is Snowflake's speciality vellum, and we're using this one, which is like a flocked velvet feel, but there's also like an iridescent. Oh, I love this iridescent one. That's the one that I used in my samples, but I thought I should make this one with the flocked, so that I've got an example to have a look at with how it looks with the flocked paper behind, and I think it's going to work just as well. It's going to definitely look like a snow flurry. Okay, let's start. I'm going to move my card base out of the way so I don't ink that up, because I'm not a very clean crafter. I'm going to move these two mats out of the way as well. And then we're going to use our card front. We're going to stamp this up now. So the first stamp that we're going to use is from the Joyful Flurry. It's the "It's a Season of" stamp. And we only want to take that very top part. There, I've put my finger in it already. I'm going to just watch what I'm inking. Being really careful to only ink up the word I want, the few words I want. I don't seem to have got all of. Then I am going to use some tissue paper too. If you have the right markers, you can actually colour it in with the right markers, but I don't have the right marker yet for this particular Starry Sky, so I'm doing it the faffy way. So the alternative would be you get your right marker and you can colour in those words and stamp that way. And that's a really useful way to stamp if you're using part stamps. Okay, let's do this. Just line that up and press that down. I didn't do very well with the of. Okay, well, I have to forgive me on this one. It might not be the best version of card that we create. It might not be my greatest moment, but you'll get the gist of what we're doing, and then you'll be able to make yours perfect. The next thing we'll do is we'll take a scrap of card and we're going to stamp the "'Tis the Season." Yeah, I don't believe in waste. You can see I was playing with this on the other side. So, but this side is perfectly clean still, so I can stamp on it. So don't throw any scraps away. Just because you've stamped on one side and it didn't quite work as you wanted, you can still reuse that card. We're going to stick this on with dimensional so no one will ever know, because no one sees the back. Okay. See, I'm just cutting this out by hand. You could use your trimmer if you like to make sure you have very straight sides. I'm not worried about that on this occasion. We're going to stick that on there. We can cover some of my messiness up. It's a shame about the of. No, I don't think I can stamp that because I'll make more of a mess. Okay, so as I say, get your right markers out because it's a heck of a lot easier to do partial stamps. So we've got the stamp from the hot dog for the word hot. Again, we're going to line that up and stamp that about the middle. Perfect. So we're going to put Starry Sky away. It does seem to be a very inky ink pad. So be careful if you have that one, and don't stick your finger in the ink pad while you're stamping. That's one of the key points. Right, so next, while I stop waffling and actually crack on with doing, we'll put some dimension. Well, we won't at the minute. We're just laying that like that. We've die cut already, as you can see. We die cut the word chocolate from the Love You More Than dies, and we'll put that on here. You can see in my version I did over here, I actually used the foam pads. Yeah, you can use, it's a foam sheet that you can stick your card to and die cut through, and I can't for the life of me remember what they're called, but I will put it into the comments and I'll put it on my blog too. So that means it's raised, and that's quite nice. The other thing I've done is you can curve it. So even though it's a straight word, you can actually curve it round, stick it down curved if you're going over a circle shape. Okay. The other thing that we need is our hot chocolate. This is again from the More Than stamp set. So you get a stamp which is the outside of the cup, and you get a stamp which is the inside of the cup. So I stamped the outside cup shape with the Starry Sky, and then I stamped off the first stamp of the soft suede and used the second generation. So having stamped it once, I stamped it the second time on here and then die cut it, and it's good because there's a die that matches, so you haven't got to do fussy cutting all around all that. Okay, so actually now that we have all of our elements that we need, what we can start doing is actually sticking it together. The first thing I'll do is to stick the mat onto our card base. Oh, where's my tape? Here we go. I use tape because I find wet glue gets everywhere. I'm a messy crafter, and wet glue I end up with everywhere, all over my fingers, and then it gets all over my card. So I stick with tape because then I know where I am, and I know where it is, and it's not going anywhere it shouldn't, hopefully. So the key to this as well, and one way to help you be able to position it, is just to take the backing paper halfway and fold it up all the way around on all 4 pieces. Okay. Can you see we've got them all folded? And then we can move our card base in. You can see, probably, I don't know whether you can see, I have scored it. And then I can line this up. And having the card having the tape only halfway peeled means I've got a little bit of adjustability before I decide to stick it down. And there we go, I'm committed now. We're sticking it down. But it gives you a bit of chance to be able to centralize it, and I probably haven't done a great job. Okay, that's our first layer. Then we're going to use this layer here, which is our speciality Snowflake vellum. What I want to do, I want to make sure that I stick it accurately on this. So I'll tape that top layer first. And again, doing that same thing of tape around the 4 sides. Make sure that's all pressed down. With this, I'm going to take it all the way off, not halfway, because I'm not going to position this piece on top of anything. I'm going to position our snowy flurry on top of this one. So our snowflake vellum, making sure that we've got the velvet side face down, so we'll see and feel the velvet through the cutout. We stick that down. There we go. So when we turn it over, we've got our sentiment, and we've got that lovely velvety flocked feeling. Now this layer, again, we tape this layer just like that. Or say I'm using tape, you can use any wet glue or whichever is your favorite adhesive to use at this time. I'm all for trying to reduce the chance of getting it all over my fingers. So is my choice instead of wet glue. In a minute I'm going to have to get my wet glue to glue the chocolate onto the front of the card. So I'll be getting ready to do that soon. Okay, we're about central. There we go. Pull our edges out, commit to it, and hopefully we're central. Right, that's great. So we've got our 'tis the season. I'm going to put some small dimensionals on the back of that. We're going to ignore my inability to have actually stamped the word of very clearly. Oops. I think my nails are too long at the moment. Right then, so there we go. Let's stick that on there. I can cover up some of my sins with that one. Lovely. Now I am going to get out wet glue for this one. Oh, I've got it over here with a very thin nozzle. And then we're going to apply glue to the back of this. Oh, come on. I obviously haven't used this glue for a little while. Here we go. And the really thin nozzle really helps to reduce my ability to put too much glue on. So hopefully I won't get all sticky with this one. Oh, let's make sure we get the end of that E. Okay, so now we're going to try and bend it a bit as we put it down here. Oops. Ah, perfect. I like that. As I say, very easy to use the foam sheets to actually die cut and raise that up to give another dimension to your card, and I think that looks really good. So here we're going to use a large dimensional and a small dimensional on the back of our cup. As I say, there we go, there's me reusing card. This is the side we want, so we're going to stick it on the dimensionals on the messy bag. No one's going to see it. It really doesn't matter. It's still a good quality card at the finish if you've stamped the words properly. Oh, I've got some fluff on there. Look at that, perfect. Bone fold it. And don't forget, on the inside, you can also make sure that you do a blue mat and a white mat in here. You could have it as a Christmas card. You could even do it as a winter birthday, so you could have a happy birthday sentiment on the inside here. The world's your oyster. I hope you've enjoyed watching today, and I'm pleased to be back, and thank you for staying tuned and waiting for me this long to have my next video out. Thanks.